Good evening, Northern Colorado. This is George, K3SAD. I am located in Windsor and will be net control for tonight's NCARC TechNet. N0NYI is still on recovery. The purpose of the TechNet is to enlighten amateur radio operators on topics of a technical nature. We will do our best to answer any technical questions to the benefit of all listening. If a subject's never been clear to you, this is an excellent opportunity to find an answer. If anyone feels that they have information that will help regarding that subject, please give your call sign and net control will call on you. Reset. This net may be interrupted at any time for emergencies or priority traffic. If you need to use the system for an emergency during the net, say break 3 times in rapid succession and give your call sign. We will acknowledge you and suspend the net until you advise that you are clear. Is there any emergency or priority traffic at this time? Hearing none, all licensed amateur radio operators with 70-centimeter privileges are encouraged to check into the net. Club membership is encouraged but never required for participation within the net. Check-ins are requested to count participation and no check-out is required. This is Kilo 3, Sierra Alpha Delta, net control for tonight's NCARC TechNet. Reset. Don't mind me, I just sat down. When checking in, please give your call sign slowly, first alphabetically, then again using the ITU phonetic alphabet along with your name and location. When checking in, please state if you have a topic that you would like to discuss. I will be taking check-ins in groups of 3. When I've recorded the first group of 3, I will move on to the next group of 3. Barring doubles, in the interest of time, I will read back all recorded call signs after the conclusion of the first full round of check-ins. Easy for me to say. If I've made any mistakes, please call net control corrections at that time. I will start by taking check-ins from any Echolink users. Please be advised that Echolink users receive with a small delay and therefore they will respond with delay. So there will be a pronounced pause here for response. Any call signs, Alpha through Zulu, tuning in via Echolink, please call K3SAD, net control now.
This is KC0, SIQ, that's Kilo Charlie 0, Sierra India, Quebec, no traffic.
Got you in there. Okay, I'm now going to open it up for Alpha through Mike over the air. Any call signs, prefixes, Alpha through Mike, please call in now.
Yeah, Whiskey 0, Lima, Echo, India, W0, LEI, Chad, and Stout. Right.
K0, ARD, Kilo 0, Alpha Romeo Delta, and Fort Collins.
K0AZA, Kilo 0, Alpha Zulu Alpha, Ron and Fort Collins.
This is K3SAD, net control, stand by. Hitting the brakes, slow down here, 1 second. Okay, this is K3SAD. With the first party who doubled with Chad up at Stout, call now. I had a triple actually, so I got K0LEE. The party that is not K0LEE, call now. Okay, that sounded to be a single, but a very, 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 very weak single. So if you can get to a better elevation, turn up your power or what have you, and check back in later, we'll come back around to you. Now, at the second round of doubles, if you feel like you were at a second double, call now. Sounds great. Okay, now this is K3SAD, Alpha through Mike. Please call now.
Kilo Foxtrot 0, Papa, Quebec, Mike from Loveland.
Okay, I got KF0 PQQ. I'll now open it up to Alpha through Zulu. Call now.
This is November 0, November Yankee, M0NYY, Bart and Evans. I am with November 0, Quebec, X-Ray, Quebec, Gene, and thank you, George, very much for taking over the net. My right shoulder will not allow me to write very well at this point in time. And that other doubling station had a solid solid signal into the repeater, but extremely low audio. N0NYY.
Okay, N0NYY, N0QXQ. Go with the next 3, please.
This is 0, Mike, Lima, Golf, Marty, Wellington.
This is November 0, Echo Mike Papa, Greg in Fort Collins with Debbie, Kilo 0, Delta Bravo Echo, and I have a new world record for items for a net and 0 EMP.
That is quite the accomplishment. Okay, I got N0 EMP, N0 DBE, and Marty. Go with the next 3, please.
Kilo Foxtrot 0 Golf Quebec Hotel, KF0 GQH, Kent in Wellington. Kilo Golf 6 Oscar Bravo Charlie, KG6 OBC, Justin, Mobile, and Fort Collins at the moment.
November 0, Bravo, November Kilo, Rick, Lots of Lake.
Hold up there. I've got KF0 GQH, Kent, KG6 OBC, and N0 BNK. Go with the next 3.
This is 0 Hotel Alpha Kilo, K0 HAK, Dave in Fort Collins.
This is AE0CF, Alpha Echo 0, Charlie, Foxtrot, Ben, Fort Collins.
Okay, I've got K0HAK and AE0CF. Any more check-ins for tonight's NCARC TUPNet? This is K3SAD Net Control.
This is WB5GEX, Whiskey Bravo 5, Tango Echo X-Ray, Dale, Loveland, no traffic, over.
All right, got you in there, WB5TEX. All right, Greg, you have the floor, N0 EMP.
Thank you. First item, this week is the Loveland lunch. Occurs at the Perkins in Loveland on West Eisenhower, or West 34, every other Wednesday, about 11:30 in the morning, or 11:30 a.m., and this week is that week, so everyone's invited. It's not a club event, it's just people that get together over here on this side of the county line. Most people happen to be NCARC members, but again, it's not a club event. You're all welcome. Let me reset. Second item, the Buckhorn 700, 447-700, has been acting up the last few days. Of course, that was the repeater they used for the ride to end Alzheimer's, and it was the power level kept switching around, jumping up and down, and it caused some issues, but they got through it. Jim Dixon, Kilo Alpha 6 Echo Tango Echo, and I went up there this morning, and I looked at, brought a watt meter and looked at forward and reverse power. And by the way, we have tried to use SWR meters on repeater sites in the past, even good SWR meters like Rig Experts, and the RF environment just totally overloads it and gives us false readings that have caused a lot of extra work and tower climbing that did not have to happen. So on the repeater sites, I'll bring a watt meter, and I'll either use the repeater as a high power RF source, or I'll bring a mobile dual band radio and a battery. This morning we saw SWR over 3 at the site on that repeater. Between the radio and the duplexer cans, past the cans out to the antenna, it was a 1-to-1 SWR. So the problem's not the antenna or the feed line, it's inside the building. So that repeater, we unplugged it. It is offline until we get it fixed. Let me reset. Item 3, field day, is coming up quickly. The 4th full Saturday of June, or the 4th full weekend in June, Saturday and Sunday. This month, or this year, it's June 22nd and June 23rd. We'll be doing it in Windsor, or just north of the town itself, at Mike Backlund's property. I sent out a detailed email last week. Is there anyone that plans to visit or participate that did not get that email? Good. fourth and final item. The United States has 2 geostationary weather satellites, plus I think a backup. GOES GOES east and GOES west. And the images and data are available online. I did a presentation a couple months ago that in part covered that. That data can be received directly from the satellites with a dish and SDR and some other stuff. There's also a product that NOAA, NOAA, puts out called MWIN, Emergency Managers Weather Information Network. And they push that data up to the satellites to be rebroadcast down over the U.S. And that can also be received locally, directly from the satellite. I'm wondering if anyone has done that that's listening, and Zero EMP. Okay, that's all I had. Back to you, and Zero EMP.
Okay, this is K3SAD, Net Control for tonight's TechNet. About the closest I've ever come is aiming a 5-watt Baofeng at the International Space Station, and I didn't get anywhere. So sorry, Greg. Does anybody else have any topics for tonight's TechNet? Okay, any late check-ins for tonight's TechNet? TechNet. This is K3SAD.
W5VV, Whiskey 5 Victor Victor, Bill in Livermore.
Gotcha in there, Bill. Anyone else? Okay, any other additional comments, questions, or other discussions pursuant to N0EMP's commentary or otherwise?
AZA with a quick topic.
Good evening, Ron. I'll get you checked in. Go ahead.
Thanks, George. This is actually somewhat directed to Joe, KD0TYU, if he happens to be listening. Joe and I were talking a couple of weeks ago about this little radio that's been getting a lot of real positive press. It's a TID radio, TID radio, model TDH3. I went ahead and bought one. They're about $30 out of you-know-where. And just got it this afternoon, so I've only had a little chance to play with it. But let me do a reset, and I'll give you guys a 30-second recap on what's kind of neat about it. So it's claimed, it has a couple of claims to fame. Number one is it uses USB-C for charging, which is really nice. No more charging cradles, you just plug it into the same adapter you use for your phone. Number two, it has Bluetooth and has an app that you can program it with your phone and upload it back to the radio with Bluetooth. The app leaves a lot to be desired. It works, and you can enter frequencies and tones and offsets. Everything you need to do is just a little bit clunky. The radio itself, however, is fairly impressive for a $30 radio. It's small. It's smaller than a TYT UV88, but it has a very solid feel. In your hand, it has kind of that solid feel like an Anytone 878 has. Has a 1.5-inch, give or take, color screen, dual monitor, and it actually has 2 PTT buttons, so you can transmit off of either channel by just pressing the button. Let me do a reset and I'll tell you one more thing about it. The other thing that's neat is it's like some of the Retevis radios. When you boot it up, you can do a combination of button pressing and holding different buttons that you have to have 3 hands to do, and then turn it on and it puts it into a boot menu. You can boot it as a ham radio, so it just has the ham radios accessible. You can boot it as a GMRS radio, so then it actually meets part, whatever GMRS part has to meet, 95, I think. Or you can do it in general, and then it's a free-for-all. You can program anything you want. So that aspect is kind of neat for those of us that dabble in GMRS. So my sense is that the app leaves a lot to be desired, but the rest of the radio for $30, it's a cool little radio. Any questions?
What's the link, MLG?
I'm sorry, Marty, I missed your question.
What is the link? Send me the link, please.
Yeah, I will be happy to. I think they're probably available on Amazon. I bought this one out of AliExpress directly out of China, but I will send you the link.
Let's see.
This is Q3SAD. Hey, Bart, somebody stepped on you there. You said it was 35-something from who?
Sorry, M0NYY. Sorry, that's what I get for not observing proper protocol. My apologies. Amazon has it for $35.99.
This is K3SAD. Yeah, another friend of ours in Loveland got one of those and just tickled pink with it. Question, though, for you, Ron. Have you tried to program it with Chirp? I was just curious about that. I've not looked it up.
No, I haven't. It also has a web-based program that you can program it with. I haven't tried that one either. I've just done the phone app. I'll look at Chirp. I've got Chirp running on one of my computers. I'll take a look at it and see if it works.
Okay, yeah, it'll just be really handy for copy and paste. I know the radios that I have that use Chirp, the copy and dump into the new system is really super handy because then you don't have to remember where everything's at. Any other comments about the radio in question, which now has escaped my mind? Tidy Radio H3, does that sound right?
Close. It's TID Radio, T-I-D Radio H3. Oh, and actually, I forgot one other thing. In the app, it actually gives you a list of all of the repeaters near you. I presume it pulls it off of Repeater Book or one of those. I'm not sure. I haven't dug into it that far. You can click on the repeaters and tell it import, and it'll pull that repeater into your list on the radio. So you actually don't have to enter all the tone and offset.
Copy that. This is K3SAD. I think about the only thing it's missing at that point is somebody to walk along with it and talk on it.
Oh, it's got a flashlight, a radio, and a Roger beep. What more do you need?
NYY.
Go ahead, Bart.
The one on Amazon also comes with two long antennas. One is airband, and the other one I assume is ham. With airband and 76 PD771 long antenna. So, not a little tiny duck, but the long one, sort of like the, whatever the name is, I can't remember now. And 0NYY back to net.
And for those that might have missed it, he's saying that two antennas included. They're both long, one airband and one presumably ham, and I think that's correct, and I think the ham one will work on the GMRS channels. Any other thoughts regarding the TID Radio H3?
This is KD0TYU with a late check-in and also a question for Ron.
Gotcha, go ahead.
Hey, Ron, I looked at Allied 2 for that radio, and I do see it on Amazon, but there's so many. Is there a lot of versions of this, or is it just add-ons that changes the price or keeps the price the same?
Yeah, you know, now that I look at it, I thought I bought it from AliExpress, but I didn't. I actually bought it directly from TID Radio. I think they're all the same. If you go onto AliExpress, what you probably want to do is make sure that the seller is TID Radio, what do they call it, the actual TID Radio store itself. And I know they have, like Bart was saying, different antennas. Some of them do come with a charging cradle. Mine didn't come with two antennas. It's got just a single antenna that's, probably 9 inches long. It looks like your typical dual band antenna. I'll look up where that TID Radio website is that I bought it from, and I can email it to both Joe and Marty, and if anyone else wants it, just let me know.
Thanks for that. Appreciate that. And I'll put it on the website if anybody wants it. I do know that they do have a TD-H3, which is the 5-watt. And then, of course, they're probably lying to you. They have a TD-H
8, which they say a 10 watt. If this is anything, although I've seen the H3 tested, and it comes pretty close to the 5 watts. I've never seen anybody do the H8 though.
If I could reply to that real quick.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I looked long and hard at the H8 and sort of ended up just flipping a coin and saying, well, let's go with the H3. It's the one that's getting the most press, and as we all know, that extra 3 watts isn't going to make a whole lot of difference. So I went ahead and went with the H3, but yeah, they do have the H8, which might be interesting.
This is Katie's at TYU. Yeah, thanks. I appreciate that. But the only other news I might have is that Baofeng is no longer. They're now called Fufeng.
This is K3SAD. That's terrible news. Now I'm going to have to stop saying Baofeng.
I was amazed.
Bart, go ahead.
So, the ones I ordered from Amazon come with the radio itself. They do have a charging base. They come with a USB-C charge cable. They come with a which is the old, what is it, Type A, the old original USB plug. It also comes with a 110 adapter for that to the cable. It also has an earphone, which looks like it may have a microphone built into the earphone cable. I'm not sure. And the 2 antennas. And they say no programming cable necessary. You can program it over the USB-C, and you can clone the battery, clone the radios with no cable. So I thought, that's kind of interesting. You get one set up, make the other one duplicated. We'll see how it goes. And 0NYY back to that.
This is K3SAD, net control for tonight's TechNet. Any other thoughts or comments on the H3?
This is Katie 0TYU with an Who's It to Shift Short contest.
TYU, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, don't be sorry. Rod, you forgot to mention that the coolest thing about it, it comes in green and crystal.
Yeah, I'm afraid I'm a purist. My radios have to be black like my coffee.
This is K3SAD. Yeah, I just hope the DEA isn't going to lock us down for having a club meeting with green crystal objects for sale. So we'll leave that there. Any other comments about the H3? Has anybody come up with any other topics they'd like to discuss for tonight's TechNet? All right, hearing none, this concludes the NCARC TechNet. Net Control would like to to be able to say a sentence without stumbling. Net Control would like to thank each station for their participation. We had a total of 19 check-ins tonight. This net will occur, 20 with me. This net will occur again next Monday at the same time on this repeater. This is Kilo 3, Sierra Alpha Delta, closing the net at 18:31 hours. 7-3, and good night, everyone.
This presentation was brought to you by the Northern Colorado Amateur Radio Club. For more information, visit our website, ncarc.net. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.